Shalawam. All praises due to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostle elders at Great Millstone and brothers, and shalom to the Aki out there whose works sincerity and truth and not for vain glory in season, out of season. The elect Aki out there. Okay. Yeah, brothers, just wanna do a quick show. You know, I was just meditating on it's gonna get worse before it gets better for the nation of Israel. Okay. Which really I'm really focusing on the elect of the Most High, the elect of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Okay, because it's gonna get worse for the whole nation of Israel, but for the elect, and just trying to go into these scriptures and just try to pray, and ask Yahweh through Yahweh Shai, to prepare my mind for that, because it's going to get worse before it gets better for the nation of Israel. Okay, so let's just go right into it. This is Acts 14 and 19. Okay, and I'll start at 19. Okay, it says, and there came hither a certain Jew, and there came hither certain Jews from Antioch and Lyconium, who persuaded the people, and having stoned Paul, drew him out of the city, supposing he had been dead. So as you can see, the apostle Paul was stoned, okay, by by them wicked Jews, man. Okay, all right, that didn't want to receive the gospel of Yahweh Shai. And when I say the gospel, I'm not meaning like Lahab and them guys talking about you ain't got to do the laws. The gospel of the good news, because the word gospel means good news. Okay, that's what the word gospel means, good news of Yahweh Shai. Because remember, Yahweh Shai, he's the deliverer. Okay, all right. But and yes, the gospel, you still have, if you're in the gospel, you still have to you still have to rehearse the righteous acts, which are the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, all right. So that's what these Jakes were doing, man. All right. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see right quick. All right. It says okay, let's read up. Let's read to number 1. Acts 14 and 1. And it came to pass in Lyconium that they went both together into the synagogue of the Jews, and so spake, that a great multitude both of the Jews and also of the Greeks of the Jews and also of the Greeks believed. So there were Jews that believed, and the Greeks is not talking about so-called Edomite white Greeks, so-called white Greeks. It's talking about Israelites. And the unbelieving Jews Okay, so you had Jews that believed, and now we're going to read about the unbelieving Jews. But the unbelieving Jews stirred up the Gentiles and made their minds evil, affected against the brethren. Okay? Long time, therefore, abode they, speaking boldly in Yahweh, which gave testimony unto the word of his grace, and granted signs and wonders to be done by their hands. But the multitude of the city was divided, and part held with the Jews, and part with the apostles. And when there was an assault made both of the Gentiles and also of the Jews with their rulers, to use them despitefully and to stone them, they were aware of it, and filled unto Lystra and Derbe, cities of Lycaonia, and unto the region that lieth round about. And there they preach the gospel. And the word gospel just means good news, but the good news of Yahweh Shai, being the sacrificial lamb, shedding his blood to return Israel to Yahweh. All right, back to the Most High. Okay. And there sat a certain man at Lystra, impotent in his feet, being a cripple from his mother's womb, who never had walked. The same heard Paul speak, who steadfastly beholding him, and perceiving that he had faith to be healed, said with a loud voice, Stand upright on thy feet. And he leaped and walked. Okay, so, they were doing those miracles. Okay, they were doing those miracles, man, by the power of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Okay, all right. Said with a loud voice. See, he had faith, so he was healed. Okay, he had faith in what Paul was speaking. Okay, about Yahweh Shai, the gospel. Said with a loud voice, stand upright on thy feet. And he leaped and walked. And when the people saw what Paul had done, they lifted up their voices, saying, in the speech of Lycaonia, the gods are come down to us in the likeness of men. And they called Barnabas Jupiter and Paul Mercurius. So they were calling them the gods of the Greeks, which they were following. Okay? All right? Hence the Gentiles. Because you have the natural Gentiles, and then which are the heathen nations, and then you have the unnatural Gentiles, which are Israelites. Okay? That were believing in all these gods. Okay? Jupiter and Mercurius and so forth. Okay? And they called Barnabas Jupiter and Paul Mercurius because he was the chief speaker. Then the priest of Jupiter, which was before their city, brought oxen and garlands unto the gate, and would have done sacrifice with the people, which when the apostles Barnabas and Paul heard of, they rent their clothes, and ran in among the people, crying out and saying, Sirs, why do ye these things? Now, if these guys were damn heathens, man, come on, man. These were Israelites, man, okay? That were in a Gentile state of mind, all right? And saying, Sirs, why do ye these things? We also are men of like passions with you, and preach unto you that ye should turn from these vanities unto the living power, which made heaven and earth and the sea and all things that are therein. So these were Israelites, man. Okay? That was living in Greek. That was living in Greece. Okay? You know, so every time you see the word Gentile, it doesn't mean that they're heathens. Okay? If they were being given the gospel, those are Israelites. Okay? So-called Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians, so you can believe. I mean, so you can understand. And so you could believe through through the word, man. Okay? All right? Who in times past suffered all nations to walk in their own ways. Nevertheless, he left, it says, nevertheless, he left not himself without witness, in that he did good and gave us rain from heaven and fruitful seasons, filling our hearts with food and gladness. And with these sayings, scarce restrained they the people, that they had not done sacrifice unto them. And there came thither certain Jews from Antioch and Lyconium, who persuaded the people, and having stoned Paul, drew him out of the city, supposing he had been dead. Howbeit, as the disciples stood round about him, he rose up and came into the city, and in the next day he departed with Barnabas to Derbe. Yeah, hey, bro, you know. And when they had preached the gospel to that city and had taught many, they returned again to Lystra and to Lyconium and Antioch. And this is the part I wanted to get to. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. And, you know, that's the point. Hey, man, so you see all the hell and the tribulation that Paul went through? Okay? He got stoned, man. You know? He got stoned by his own people. You know? But he rose up and he kept on moving, man. And he kept on teaching. You know? So, you know, it's going to be through much tribulation, man. You know? So I'm just, you know, I was just meditating on that. And, you know, hey, man, that's a serious thing. You know, through much tribulation. Let me read it again. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. And that's the thing, man. Even though, you know, it's going to be the time of Jacob's trouble. You know, we got to continue in the faith of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Okay. You know, and, you know, we catching hell now, but it's only going to get worse. Okay. And that we must, through much tribulation, the time of Jacob's trouble, enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. And that's how we're going to enter into the kingdom of Yahweh, man, through much tribulation. Okay? Remember, the famine is coming. The RFID chip is coming, which is the mark of the beast, mentioned in the book of Revelation 13:16. Okay? Some of us are going to be locked up in concentration camps. Some of us are going to be beheaded. Okay? In concentration camps. All right? You know? So it's going to be a lot of tribulations. Okay? So let me get one more scripture. If I can. Oh, yeah. Jeremiah 30:7, and I'll end it there, Lord willing. Jeremiah 30:7. Jeremiah 30:7. Jeremiah 30:7. It says, "Alas, for that day is great, the day that we live in now, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble." That's right, bro. So we fastly approaching the time of Jacob's trouble. You know, race riots, concentration camps, famines, the plagues, pestilences, which is these diseases, you know, and you know, that's going to be the time of trouble out here, man. Jacob's trouble. Who's Jacob? Jacob is so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, so it's going to be a time of trouble. Jacob's trouble. Okay, so troubles are coming, but he shall be saved out of it. So, in order for us to get the kingdom, we're going to have to go through troubles, tribulations, but he shall be saved out of it. Okay? But Jacob shall be saved out of those troubles. Okay? And who's the Jacob that's going to be saved out of those troubles? The elect of the nation of Israel. The elect of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, brothers. So I hope you brothers were edified. And with that, shalom.